everyone, JulioToyReviews here, and this is a review of the Power Rangers Ninja Steel Wave 1 5-inch action heroes. So with Power Rangers Ninja Steel coming in soon, we have already begun getting action figures and Megazords and whatnot, and our first wave of action figures, just like with every other wave of Power Rangers figures, is obviously the Rangers. Now granted, there are some villains like Ripcon and Ripper Rat, but today we're going to be going over the main 5 Rangers over here, which technically make up Wave 1. So over here we have the pink, yellow, red, blue, and white Ninja Steel Rangers. So let's get on with this review. So over here are the 5 Ninja Steel Rangers. From left to right we have Sarah, the pink Ranger, Calvin, the yellow Ranger, Brody, the red Ranger, Preston, the blue Ranger, and Haley, the white Ranger. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, these 3 guys over here, don't they look familiar? Well, if you thought that they looked like the Ninja 5-inch action heroes that got released back all the way in, I guess it was 2014, then you're actually right. The Ninja Steel 5-inch line is actually just a new production line of the Ninja figures. Because of the fact that Bandai Japan did 5-inch Ninja figures back when Ninja was airing, and now for Ninja Steel we just decided to recycle the molds. So these 3 guys over here are just basically rehashes. And the females over here are actually new considering the fact that Bandai Japan didn't do girls. But anyways, let's actually get into the figures themselves. Now for the males, I'm mainly going to be showing off Brody for the articulation because of the fact that they all have the same articulation. And then for the female, I'll show off the pink Ranger, Sarah. So let's start with Brody over here. And for basic articulation, which is just basic 5-inch figure articulation, you can turn the arms all the way over here. You have the hands, which by the way, be careful with the hands because of the fact that some people have been getting loose hands on their figures. You have this part over here, which you're gonna have to turn it upright. Yeah, like that. You can bend at the elbow over here. And over here, you know you can normally stretch out the arms? Well, now there's a little ratchet. Let me just do that again so you can be able to hear it. So yeah, there's a ratchet over here just like with the new Legacy figures. Now, I don't know why they did the ratchet, but it's actually a good thing because if you want the arm to be posed in a certain way like this for example, then you can have it like that without fear that if you flip your finger by accident, it's going to move away. And for the legs over here, you can just swivel over here. You have the bottom leg over here. You have the knee. And you have the head, which can turn 360. And the back, there's not really much detail. Now, there are some differences from the Ninja figures that I should mention. First of all, the swords. In the Japanese releases of the Ninja figures, the swords were a lot shorter. And they had the Red Ranger Shuriken. However, over here, you can see that the blade is a lot longer. And you can see that we have the Element Star over here instead of the Red Ranger Shuriken. And on the belt over here, it's actually kind of different as well. If you see the images, this actually had the Element Star, while over here, it still retains the Element Star, except it's in a closed up mode. And over here, you have the Zord Star as well, except here, it's not painted like it was in Japan. And yeah, that's basically it for the male articulation. Let me just show off Preston and Calvin quickly. You can see Preston over here, which by the way, Owl Ninja is my second favorite design out of the Ninja suits, with my first being Star Ninja. You can see the details over here. You can see the sash, the belt, legs. You can see the arms and the helmet. And let me grab Calvin over here. And you can see that he basically has the same issue. Not necessarily issue, but you get what I'm saying. And you can pose him like that. And yeah. And now for the female articulation, we're going to show off Sarah, our pink Ranger over here. So she basically has the same articulation as the male figures. You could turn the arms over here. You could turn the cuffs, the hands, the helmet. It's basically the male articulation except skinnier. And now one of the problems is the hands over here suffer the same issue from the RPM figures in which they're too skinny. And this is a bit of a problem because the hands stretch out too much when you put in the blade because of the fact that the grip is so big. So over time the hands are gonna stretch and it's not really gonna be that good. And you could use hot water or something, but just saying. And now for the legs over here, remember how last year the female figures would have no leg articulation whatsoever? Well, there you go. Bandai actually went ahead and fixed the problem. Instead of like in the legacy figures where they just had a little cut and that's it, nope, this is a full way cut. While the skirt over here is still plastic, it's at least a bit softer this time, so you could be able to like move around the legs and stuff. And this is good because the female figures can finally sit down or bend their stuff. And heck, they can even sit in the Megazord just like what's been promoted with all these figures. So yeah, that was basically it for Sarah, our Pink Ranger. And now a quick look at Haley, our White Ranger. Which you can see she basically has the same sort of articulation stuff. And this is what I was talking about with the hands, that sometimes they'll stretch out because of the fact that the handle over here is really big. And yep, wait, you can see Haley over there and her sword fell off, but yeah. That's basically it to her. And let me just stand up Sarah again. And oh, look at that, both of their blades fell off. But anyways, that's all for the Ninja Steel 5-inch figures Wave 1. So overall, these figures are pretty nice, and I would recommend them if you're a fan of Power Rangers. And I would recommend them if you're a fan of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, or just a fan of the 5-inch line in general. Now, some people have said that the plastic quality of these figures are a bit underwhelming compared to past figures, but I really don't see that as a problem here. I really don't feel as if the plastic is downgraded or anything like that. It's remaining the same as how it's been. And these figures are really nice. Again, I love the Ninja suit designs, and I'm glad that they're able to bring them over to the 5-inch scale. Now, I'm kind of disappointed that the 6.5-inch Legacy scale didn't become the standard for Bandai, and that didn't replace the 5-inch scale, but I'm still happy with these figures. These are actually pretty good figures, and again, I would recommend them. So that's basically it for the Wave 1 5-inch figures for Power Rangers Ninja Steel. So, what do you guys think? Leave your comments below. And until next time, I'm JulioToyReviews, and I'm signing off. Thanks for watching, everyone.